Good morning. Or good afternoon.
Yeah, that's true. It's morning for us right now.
Yeah. Hopefully this weather starts becoming sunny every day.
Yeah.
Because I sure can't deal with the rain. So how are you doing today, Miss Williams?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Oh, doing pretty good. Ready to get all this virus over with so we can return to some normalcy on...
Come back to school.
Come back to school. That's exactly right, because I sure did miss being in class.
That's all right.
All right, well, today we're going to do practice lesson 5. If you haven't done practice lesson 1 through 4, remember you can find those in the YouTube channel under pages in 4th grade.
Yeah. So this is Monday, right?
Yeah, this will be Monday.
All right.
Whew. Another Monday.
All right, so let's go over our words for today.
Okay, so let me grab that paper real quick. On practice lesson 5. All right, I got our words here.
Okay, so we've got represents and about.
Okay, represents. Well, I think let's do about first.
Okay.
Because I think we've seen that word a whole bunch this year.
Yeah. So about is like close to.
Yeah.
Or near.
It's an estimate, right?
Right.
It's an estimate. So we would use rounding if we see the word about.
Yes, exactly. Now with represent, that means it's like standing for something.
Okay. So that'd be like where on the line would that number fall?
Right.
Which dot? Where would that dot would be which number? Which would it represent?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, today we have chosen that we are going to do question number 19 together, which happens to be a time problem. And if you guys remember, right before we left for spring break, this is what we were working on in class. We were working on our time problems. So, Miss Williams, will you read that problem to us?
Sure. Number 19 says, Kenneth began working on his art project at 3:49 p.m. He stopped at 8:10 p.m. About how many hours did he spend working on his art project?
Oh, so we have that word about there.
Yeah.
That means we're going to have to estimate those times before we solve it. But let's go back all the way to right before spring break on how we set up time problems. Remember, we do all of our time problems, no matter if they give us a start and end time, on a number line. So if I have a number line, remember that's going to be a line with numbers, and we put those lines on the end because it's going to go on forever and ever in both directions. Remember, we put our elapsed time up here, and that's going to be in the form of so many hours and so many minutes. And down here, we put our start times and our end times. So go ahead and get yourself a piece of paper or something to write on and get that number line set up. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video for a second and get that set up, and then we'll go back and look at our problem. Okay, so our problem says Kenneth begins working on his art project at 3:49 p.m. Now, the first thing we have to decide is this a start and end or an elapsed time? Well, I think that looks like that would be he begins his work project. So that's a start time. But we have to remember it said about right there. So what we need to do is we need to round that to the nearest hour. So 3:49 is closest to what time, Miss Williams?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and put 4 o'clock on our start time. And then it says about how many, he stopped at 8:10.
Right.
He stopped. So stopped, remember that's a clock time also, and stopped would be an end time, and we're going to round 8:10 to
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, so obviously we have a start and an end time, so we're solving for our elapsed time. So I'm going to go ahead and go up there and circle it so I know when my problem's done what time that would be. So when we start our time, we're going to put a dot on the number line, and every time we have a dot on the number line, we have to put a time with it. I'm going to turn my number line sideways so I can write that time on there. Remember, the start time is given for us, so we don't have to come up with the first time being 4 o'clock. And we have to go from 4 to 8, so hopefully you guys remember that we're going to use mountains to represent that. So I'm going to draw my first mountain, and I'm going to put plus 1 hour in there. So if 4 o'clock plus an hour is what time, Miss Williams?
It's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay, I can't stop because my hour has to be at 8. Let me move that into the camera. My hour has to be at 8, and I'm only at 5, so I need to add another mountain. So I'm going to put plus 1 hour, and every time it touches the number line, I have to put another time there. So 5 plus 1 hour is
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Okay, can't stop because I'm not to 8 yet. So I'm going to put plus 1 hour. And 6 plus 1 is
7 o'clock.
Okay. And then we're going to add another hour because we can't stop till we get to 8. Plus 1 hour, which would put me at
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to turn this paper around really quick. And remember, we had a start time and we had an end time, so we're trying to find the elapsed time. So now that my start times match and my end times match, all I have to do is count up my time inside of my mountains here to figure out how many hours that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 4 hours. So Kenneth would beginning and ending his work project, he spent approximately or about 4 hours. So I would go and I would find on my paper that correct answer, which is A, 4 hours. I would circle it, and I would go to number 19 on my bubble sheet. So 19, 4 o'clock was A, and I would bubble that in. Remember, if you don't have access to this bubble sheet, you can just write it on a piece of paper and keep track of it and send it to us when we're done with all of these videos through our email, which is in the description.
All right, that's right. So, anything else we need to go over on that one?
I don't think so. I think that they're going to work on the rest of these problems on their own. If you guys have questions, you can email us. And then we also have an IXL overtime for you guys to do today, and it's 4th grade.
Yes, 4th grade. IXL math is 06.
06. Okay, and guys, what I really want you to try to do is take some time on this one, and if you have problems, take a break. Try to get 10 of these correct in order. Just try to get 10 of them correct in a row, and then you can stop for the day on this one. You don't have to get to a certain smart point level. Just try to get, even if you just get 5 in order, just work on those because they're going to take a little bit of time because you are going to have to draw some number lines.
All right.
All right.
Good.
All right. Well, if you need more information, remember it's in the description below, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.